Hi, it's Brett Elliott and welcome back to part 7 in the series Ultimate Energy Healing. If you've watched the last few videos or the first 6 videos in the series, you'll realise what we've been doing is preparation. So up until this point we've been talking about how to get yourself into the right space, understanding the nature and flow of the energy. But today what I want to do is talk to you about tapping into that energy. So in the next few videos we're going to talk about how we can get this energy to channel through our body and how that healing process takes place. So we're going to start with it today. First of all, let's start with the usual picture of ourselves here. Now this energy that we're tapping into, and we've spoken about the nature of it, the infinite nature of it, is in a huge reservoir. And I've used the sun as an analogy in the past, but think of it in a slightly different way today, is that nature of that energy is it's a huge, infinite, boundless, unconditional reservoir of energy that just keeps coming to us and towards us. So all we need to do really is to tap into it. So imagine that reservoir has got a point of exit, or a point where we can tap into it, that being where it comes to us. I'd also like to remind you here, or just mention again, that this infinite reservoir of energy that we're talking about is there in the unknown parts of our universe. So science at the moment has realised that there are large amounts or percentage of our universe that we don't understand. And that's up to 90%, or over 90% of our universe. We don't actually understand what's there, what it is, what that energy is. And they're calling it, dark energy and dark matter and that sort of thing. But basically that energy is there, and we don't know what it does or what it is. So I'm going to propose that energy, or that reservoir of energy, is in fact intelligence. And that intelligence is the part of the universe, or the part of our reality, that we call spiritual. So there's a large part of the cosmos, or creation itself, is actually spiritual. And so a very small part of it is actually physical. So what we see as a physical universe is only a small percentage of the totality of creation. Alright, so that intelligence is also, I guess, what we would call the creator, and also that energy we could also call spirit. So this is a little bit open-ended, because I know people around the world have thousands of different types of belief systems around this, but basically they all have a similar construct or concept. I mean, in modern times a lot of people call the universe, they're guided by the universe, or but they're still giving the universe some kind of intelligence. So in a sense, this energy, or this spirit, or this intelligence, or God, or whatever we choose to believe, is universally accepted by all human beings. There's very, very few of us, in fact, on the earth that don't believe in some kind of universal intelligence. It's probably less than 10%. So when you think about it, this is pretty universally accepted. We have an infinite source of energy there that's creating the universe. Even things like the Big Bang Theory and evolution is another one. Those two theories are still theories, scientific theories that are yet to be proven. So they've got pieces and parts, but they don't have proof of either of those theories. And that's why most of the human race believes in divine intelligence, or universal intelligence, a creator, and so on. So in order to tap into this energy, one thing we need to do is we need to have a faith, or have a belief, or have a knowing, or a knowledge that is there. And the other thing is we need to make some space for it to connect with us. So we've talked about tuning in and resonating and being on the same wavelength and all that sort of thing. And we've also talked about the truth, and how the truth actually connects those dots, and how things that aren't true actually cause a disconnect. So when I'm going through this, if you struggle with things, if you think that what I'm saying is not true, then you'll probably find that you'll have a bit of a disconnect with the whole thing. And what I suggest you do is have a scientific mind. In other words, have an open mind and a scientific view, which is until you've experimented and tested, don't form an opinion. That's the best thing. That's a scientific approach. So you only really form an opinion when you get a result or you don't get a result. And you can only do that by experimentation. So what I'm going to suggest here, the first thing we do is a bit of an experiment. So in order to tap into this energy and have this energy, as we've talked about before, as a wave, reach our body in some way, and this form of electromagnetism or electrical impulses or energy that we feel is to allow it to enter ourselves. And of course, if you look at this like a reservoir of, for example, a great way to think of a reservoir is water, that it will flow, but it will only flow when there's an open tap. So in order for us to tap into this energy, we need to open some kind of space to allow this energy to flow. And of course, with our busyness in our lives, we've got going on in our heads a lot of the time a lot of stuff. We're busy people. We're always racing around. We've got a lot on our minds. We've got a lot to think about, a lot to do. And so not only that, but as we go through life, we develop a whole lot of we construct a whole lot of opinions and beliefs and attitudes, and we have a lot of thoughts and understandings going on in our mind. And of course, this doesn't create an open space. So we need to create an open space in order to receive this energy. And the simplest way to create an open space in here is, and you can just sort of imagine taking the top off your head and opening it up. So having an open mind or an open space is meditation. And I'm going to go quickly through in the next few minutes a method of meditation that we can use. And I'm going to use the simplest form of meditation. And you might have heard of it recently, a lot of talk around mindfulness. And in fact, it's very, very similar to mindfulness. But the method I would suggest using for meditation in order to open yourself up and to tap into healing energy is a very simple method, and it involves three things. First thing is listening. And that means just sitting or lying in just a comfortable position and just closing your eyes and just listening. And you will potentially hear something. And the most common thing you will hear is like a high-pitched ringing sound. A lot of people think that's tinnitus. But unless you've had industrial damage to your hearing, in fact, it's not tinnitus. We can all hear that high-pitched sound. And even as I'm talking about it now, you'll probably become aware of it. So listening to that is a great way of becoming mindful and just listening. And in fact, you might hear different tones and different sounds as you practice this method. So sitting comfortably, just breathing deeply and relaxing and listening. And the next thing is looking. And that means just simply with your eyes closed, just looking into the back of your eyelids and just seeing what you see. And some people see little speckles of colour or patterns of moving energy. Some people see balls of light. And all sorts of things can appear to you depending on how open you are. So listening, looking, and the last one is feeling. And feeling means not just feeling what you can feel externally on your body, but feeling what you feel deep inside yourself. So really searching around with your feelings internally, throughout your body, but deep internally is what I would suggest, searching with your feelings. And so this is a great way to tap into healing energy, because as you listen, look and feel, you'll start experiencing things that you may not have experienced before. And meditation has been well proven and well researched. There's lots and lots of studies showing that meditation is great for things like reducing pain. And it works hormonally in the body through the brain, helps reduce pain. It's also shown to people that teach meditation for a period of time have been shown to have lower rates of cancers, for example. And there's also research showing that meditation can reduce the damage to the telomeres and the DNA replication process. So in other words, your cells regenerate better and you live longer, you don't age so much. So there's a number of healing processes that take place just through meditation alone, let alone the fact that you can actually tap into this energy, become aware of it. So when you're listening, looking, feeling, you may actually become aware of feelings of bliss and ecstasy and peace and warmth and all of those feelings that will let you know that you've connected with healing energy. So I hope that's been helpful, and not too much too fast, but I thought it's time now to really get into this. And what I'm going to do in the next few videos is talk about more about how we can channel that energy through our body and the process involved in doing that. So thanks for watching.